Thanks for staying tuned. This is still iBrand Daybreak. Now it's time to talk money. Our money motivation segment definitely continues. Now, as beautiful as you may have dressed, putting on a shoe is not a choice to complete your dressing. It is a must, and these days, it is not just a matter of putting on shoe, but wearing good and quality shoes. One of the things people notice about you as soon as you are sighted is your footwear. Because everyone wears shoes, they form basic fashion accessories necessary to complete any outfit. Now, joining us to discuss the importance of shoes and the business of shoemaking as well is Uche Otitoju, the CEO of Klish Collections. And it must be said that Klish Collections is a made-in-Nigeria brand known for a production of quality, durable, homemade unisex footwears, slippers, sandals, moles, heels, and more, including handbags, belts, among others. Uche Otoju, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning,
Good
Uche.
morning.
Cliche Collections.
Oh,
How are you?
cliche.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
sorry.
Cliche
Okay.
Collections. Hi, Uche. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing this
Fine,
morning?
thank you too. So, Uche, first, you just tell us about Cliche Collections and how you picked interest in shoes, making of shoes, leather bags, and belts too.
Okay, thank you for having me today. My handmade story is an interesting one. I started business in school and I used to import from Dubai and buy from Lagos and all of that. So I had a particular issue where I bought a shoe from Dubai. It had clearing issues and it stayed for over a month. And when it got to Nigeria, I was in school. I remember I was in my hostel and it got to Nigeria and then the leathers were already clean. I was so angry because I spent money trying to clear it. I spent money buying it and then when it got to me, the leather was already bad. So how was I supposed to sell it? And then I thought about it that, oh, we could actually produce shoes. So people are already producing it. So why don't I just venture into this business and start selling handmade? At least I'm sure of the quality that they offer and all that. Because prior to then, I'd already gotten a few shoes from handmade plugs in Nigeria. And I felt like, oh, this is nice. It lasted way better than even the ones I imported. So why not just start a business? And here I am today after 3 years
Wow.
doing well in the business.
So just as a means of follow-up now, just read something. The global footwear market valued at 365.5 billion US dollars in 2020 is estimated to grow to 530.3 billion US dollars by 2027. So apparently the footwear market it has prospects. If in 2020 it was like 265 billion US dollars, and by 2027 it is expected to grow by 530.3 million US dollars. That means there is prospect there. And you also mentioned something striking that made me really proud of the Nigerian factor, that the ones you got from Nigeria was even more durable and lasted better and longer than those
Exactly.
ones you imported. So now, about the shoe making business, there is prospect in it.
Okay.
And what has been your value chain lately since you started, rather?
I think I still stick to durability. And personally for my brand, affordability is one of it because I know what people who are doing similar business and who offer similar quality are selling at. So affordability, durability, and really I used to do unique designs, but people Nigerians basically we like to follow trends. So I can say unique designs to some extent, but definitely I have to go with what my customers want. So I have to follow the trend. So basically durability and affordability.
Okay, let's look at, before we delve into the commercial aspect of shoemaking, let's look
Okay.
at shoemaking from the stereotypical notion that it's a layman's job. There's that bias towards it that, cobblers or shoemakers are not well-to-do people among others. How have you been able to, defy that odds in terms of that image since you've been in the business?
I don't think that's the right notion or that's the right claim.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it is because I feel like I pay my staff well. Considering how much I sell at, I think I pay them. They do well. I just feel like, well, some people do not pay their cobblers well, but if you're a good cobbler and you get value, your clients get value for what they are getting, you definitely pay well. I pay my cobblers well, so I really do. I can't say much on that because I feel like they are doing well. When I enjoy, they enjoy. So that's just it.
Okay, so let's talk about shoemaking. What's the cost of shoemaking for those who are aspiring to delve into it? What do they need? What are necessary resources they need to at least start a shoemaking business?
Did you
Did
get
you
that?
get that?
In a generator, a
Okay.
filing machine, and then a sewing machine, and then little materials like hammer, screws, and just little gum, brush, probably a table, scissors, really petty things. But the three major things you need are generator, a sewing machine to sew the leather, of course, and then a filing machine to file. So these are the three major equipments you need. Or aside that, they are just petty things like scissors, gum,
The
glue, leathers.
what, the filing machine, the sewing machine you mentioned, what's is it
Yeah.
relatively affordable? What's the cost?
Yes. Well, a sewing machine, like I really don't know the current cost, but you can see a sewing machine of about 50,000 naira. A
Okay.
generator, because you need to power your filing machine. Filing machine should. I really don't know the current cost of this because it's been a while, but I think they should be around. Should still be around 50,000 naira. That's if it has not gotten higher than that.
Okay,
And
Okay.
then
no.
a generator probably 50K. So I think with about 150, you
200,000.
can
Okay. Start
start.
the
You
business.
can start. Yeah, with about 150,000.
Okay, so before you get the scissors, sewing machine, but then I want to ask, in an industrial sewing machine or just a normal one or sewing machine? First, before I go to my
You
question.
can for you to start. If you're starting, you can just do a regular sewing machine.
Oh, okay.
Then when because it's just you're not doing so much with the sewing machine, just to sew the edges of the leather, and the leathers are not so strong that a regular machine can't
Oh well, I was
penetrate.
going to come to that because an industrial and manual sewing machine, you just have the needles break if the leathers are so strong. But then my question
Yeah,
is,
you have needle issues.
oh, of course, even
But
for
for
normal clothes.
starters, if you
All
want
right.
to start big, you can just quickly go to the industrial. There is no like it's perfect. But if you want to start small, why not? Your
Okay.
manual sewing machine can do the
Okay,
trick.
so to my question, before you get all of those things, you need to have the expertise. What's the duration it would take to learn the skill of shoemaking? How long?
So I didn't get the question.
I say before you get all of the sewing machine, gum, needles, and scissors, you will need the
Okay.
expertise, right? So what is the
Yes,
duration it
definitely.
would take? Because I think that's the most important thing with getting all of those
It
things without
is
having to know how to do it is counterproductive. So what's the duration it would take
exactly.
to learn how to make shoes?
On every
Well, I think this having a network issue, and that question was really important to me.
Quite important because I know they go to schools that they have
Yeah.
to learn the trade and understand the craft. Then when are well equipped with the knowledge, you now delve into the business.
All right, Uche, I think we lost you for a moment. Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I
Please
can
go
hear
on.
you.
Go ahead.
So I
Hello. Losing her again at the point of asking my question. So, okay.
Connectivity issues there. So I know quite well that they have to go to school to learn the craft, and then when we're well equipped with knowledge,
Yeah.
they now delve into the business itself. Uh,
Uche, you back?
Hello.
Please, can you unmute your microphone? If you can unmute your microphone, just say something while we are discussing. We'll get back to you if you can hear us, please.
But
okay, can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
very
Okay.
well. Please go ahead.
Okay, fine. So I think it depends on the individual learning it,
Okay.
right? It depends on how fast you are because it's just like every other trade, baking, sewing. It depends on how fast you are. But and the thing is with shoemaking is that there are new designs every day. So it's important to just learn the basics so that when these new designs,
To
because my
enhance.
cobblers at this point, even after 3 years, they still have to go to their masters for okay, this design is up. How do they achieve this part? Or they have to strictly look at the design and be like, oh, did they do it this way? Or we most times we mess up production. Like we do a particular thing and I'm like, no, this is not what I'm seeing here. We need to do it again. So it's a continuous learning thing. But I feel like for 3 months, 3 months is the least you can use if you're a really, really fast learner. But you have to have it in mind that it's not enough. You still have to always improve yourself on that skill.
Okay. All right. Now
Yes.
let's link it to multiple stream of income as a shoemaker, a cobbler. Are there other jobs you can do that would not interfere with your job as a shoemaker? Because in Nigeria, there's a need to have multiple streams of income. You cannot rely on just
You
money
can't.
from. So let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, I didn't just start with Teach collections. I also have, or I had a logistic business. It was running in Abuja, and then I got married and relocated. So we started running into Ilorin, but then the business here was a bit up and down, and there were so many. It was giving me high BP, and I'm like, I beg, I'm not this kind of person. Let me just chill, So I stopped the business July. I was about to give birth last year, so I just stopped business because I wasn't ready for the stress. But then I know I've been thinking of what else can I do? What else can I do? Because the money is not enough. Logistics used to bring so much money, but now it's just there. So I'm still thinking of other things to do. But I advise that, definitely you cannot even survive on one job. Even if you're working, you cannot survive on your job. You can never survive on one business, so you need extra sources and all that. So it's important you do other things, even if there are things related to what you're doing, but just a little bit. If you're doing fashion, maybe you're a tailor, and then you can just pick something, accessories by the side, something that goes with your fashion line and all that.
Okay, you just talked about how challenging it can be in terms of being hands on deck because it needs
Yes.
attention. So for someone who has a regular 9 to 5 job and wants to pick up shoemaking as a sort of side also, do you think the person can pick up such a job in terms of having more time on the job probably by the weekends?
It's possible, but I feel like the person won't be the person. Yeah, you won't be the one making it. You can hire a cobbler to do the
Okay,
job for you. You won't, probably you can just be taking orders. You won't,
be the
because
one.
shoemaking. Can you hear me?
I'm with you. Sure.
Okay, shoemaking is time consuming. It is time
Okay.
consuming to mess up your nails, to mess up your fine girl and all that. So you need I feel like you can just hire a cobbler to do your job. So your basic work is to take orders and monitor them. So during the weekends, you know that okay, you're going to the store to monitor what your workers are doing. So it's possible for a 9 to 5 to also take up a side hustle in shoemaking, but you won't be the one doing it. And if you feel like you can do it, that means your weekend will be choked with others too, because you have to meet up targets.
Okay, let's now talk about the business opportunities within the industry, the shoemaking industry. You've talked about the cobblers, those who make the shoes, or the shoemakers. You talked about,
Okay.
those who handle the orders. How about those who
Mhm.
design, among others? What other opportunities are there in the shoemaking industry?
I think that's basically it. The designer can be the person taking the order, because
Okay,
it's better you have someone who has eye for fashion that is already doing that, then the
okay,
cobblers, and then logistics. That's another important factor, because I had an issue last week. My customers didn't get their goods,
wow,
and I was just everywhere. The goods were supposed to arrive, they used the particular motor pack, and then it didn't arrive. She was supposed to use it for her daughter's christening. Everywhere was
wow.
just choked, and I was running up and down. So it's not enough that you design, it's not enough that you produce. It's important that you see true to the end, that the logistic gets to deliver your customers' order. So I think it's just the designer, you that you're taking the order, customer service, and then the cobbler making the shoe, and then the logistic delivering it. So I think that's just basic chain
All
and
right.
people involved.
Uche, now everyone loves, well, a lot of people love good shoes. I love good shoes, but we have an issue with people always wanting to think the Nigerian shoes are not going to be durable enough. I mean, there's this phrase that say when something is really bad, they'll say it's Abba made. But the truth is, if you've ever been to Abba, you will know that they do really nice stuff in Abba. Depends on what you want. If you want the one that will last you for 2 weeks, they will give you that one. If you want one that will last you for 5 years, they have that one, because Nigeria has a lot of prospects, but that's this Nigerian factor. So how do you cope with customers? Probably you'll prefer an
Hello,
Italian
I can hear
design.
you.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Okay, I think we have issues with network again, but
Can you hear me, Uche?
Yes, I can hear you now, but
Okay,
I lost
now
you guys.
I'll say that the Nigerian factor. Now there's
Okay.
something people when something is bad or a product goes bad, they'll say it's Aba made. But then if you've really been to Aba,
Right.
you know that even in Aba they do very durable goods, and because people don't want to buy Nigerian, they would have to target Italian, and then you go buy that one, not knowing it was made in Aba or it was made in Onitsha. So you talked about the Nigerian factor. How do you cope with customers wanting probably an Italian design and you have a Nigerian design, or having to rather pay more for a foreign design, knowing fully well that without even knowing that Nigerian products could be durable and could really last long and even be affordable?
So basically, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go on.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear
I think
me.
we're having a crappy line. Uche, if you can hear me, please go on while we continue our conversation. Yeah.
I think network is acting up, but I understand, you know, the stereotype of shoes made in Nigeria not being durable. There's always that preconceived
About
notion that
made
it's
thing.
Aba made. Hello?
Yeah, I'm back.
Please
Oh,
go on.
you have the floor, please shoot.
Okay. So for me, what has worked for me is feedback from other people, because
Okay.
I don't. Okay, there. Let's not completely rule out the fact that there are Aba mates that are really bad. But what are you expecting from someone that you're buying a slippers of 500 and 1,000? And what are you expecting? Are you expecting to wear it to the end of time? Like, definitely it will be bad. So I don't know. I feel like you know that we are making this thing in Nigeria. Then we are putting in so much effort into it. Like, for me, what has worked is customers review, people coming back, and that has people referring me to other people coming back to buy. And then I even have people that send these so-called Italian designs to me. Please, I want you to recreate it, because you cannot afford these shoes that are so high.
So, yeah.
You cannot afford a 45,000 naira shoe, but you know that Klitsch can deliver to you for 15,000 naira. I don't know if you guys are with me.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are with you.
Network issues there again.
Well,
but
I think that's a good place
I
to.
think she
made
answered
two
that
cents,
quite
yeah.
well. You know, sometimes in the bid to get something affordable, folks go for things that are ridiculously cheap.
And then you're
And you
expecting.
expect it to be.
It's not magic. Uche, if you're there, please indicate.
Yes.
Please, can we just
Yes,
get your
I am.
final thought for the want of time? What's your last thought on this conversation?
I didn't get that. What's my
What's your last thought? You're about answering that question, really.
Oh, okay, yeah. So handmade, when you see handmade, Nigerian handmade, I feel like everybody's their hands on deck doing it. So definitely
Yeah.
they are durable. I personally do not know how to encourage somebody to buy. I just tell you that give us a try. If we fail, I'll give you your money full. I know that I'm not giving you your money, but I feel like if I tell you that, you just be like, okay, she's real. Or when someone just tells me, oh, I got referred from so person to you,
Okay.
because they trust your work. So that is just it.
Okay, in 30
And
seconds. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
have to bust in. We're pressed for time. In 30 seconds, as we wrap up,
Fine.
what are the
Okay.
pieces of advice you would give anyone who is trying to delve into the business of shoemaking?
Oh, it's very, very profitable. It's profitable. You have joy when you're doing it. You're doing something for. It feels like you're doing something for Nigeria. You know, you're making your country proud. It's not rocket science. It's not something you just do in a day. It's something you have to keep on developing every day. But just know that it's profitable. Is really nice, and then you're doing something for your country, I guess.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Uche.
Thank you.